market. So these are the opportunities that are around, and when there is a requirement, when there is the need, then they come as a real established technologies and even commercializable things. Our students and with the help of sister institutions like ICT and NEERI, we have developed many new technologies during this period, which I'm saying this because you can see the potential of institutions, academia, which have a lot more to contribute, and they have to do this because they are public funded and it's their responsibility. But anything that happens in the lab has no meaning in terms of their implementation unless industry comes forward and take it. Because most people who develop these, they don't go beyond the boundaries of their institutions. So that methods like surveying using sewage system, the parasite load or the infection load in the city, air surveillance to find out how much of the virus is there in the air, then what we call as genomic surveillance, in which we can very carefully monitor if new variants are emerging anywhere and control it before it becomes a problem, which is extremely relevant in today's context. And even important thing is zoonotic surveillance, where we know that many of times parasites or viruses stay in the live in the wildlife, and if we interfere with wildlife, we encroach there, then we run the risk of bringing such pandemic kind of situation. We all know that this pandemic is outcome of our intrusion in the nature, and that's why there's something which is unusual has come into humans. And I was very happy to that this was amply emphasized in Mr. Rambabu's address, that we have to respect nature. And in his story, I'm very impressed that boy who made the phone call represents our society. That represents our future. That represents that we don't accept something which is not natural and which destroys our environment. That's something very inspiring and very interesting. I'll just make one more point that in terms of new opportunities that are appearing, healthcare is going to be extremely important. It was very important. It's a major economic sector. But now, as we all know, that is going to be much, much more than that. And what revolution I would say has come is the example by which we are now ready to deliver vaccine to the society in less than 1 year of time. Till a few months ago, even I was skeptical about it, that there will be no vaccine for this pandemic. But 2 weeks before the first anniversary of when the test was first infection was detected in India, we had 2 vaccines available to us. That is something remarkable, and very, very proud of. We are very proud of the Hyderabad system, the industry, the pharma, and the environment that the government provides, the support that and encouragement that it gave to the industry, that you have one of the finest vaccine that is available, which is produced in Hyderabad. And this is actually much more than a vaccine. It only shows that we have reached the technology where as complex solution as vaccine, which takes 8 or 10 years to come, can be delivered within a year. And now there are even more sophisticated technology called RNA vaccine that can be produced in very small infrastructure in a building like this space. And this can be moderated or modified based on the requirement or the new variant within 2-3 weeks, and with the small testing it can go for the public use. So that is now a new way of handling the disease system, how to preventing, because vaccine is the best solution. Drugs will come when you get infected, but the vaccine can prevent that from happening. And these new openings, another important component is the regulatory system has become very responsive and sensitive, thanks to the pressure from the government and of course from the public, that many things have been made faster, and you can now get many approvals done within a very short period of time. That within a period of time, having all safety approvals from the lab, and then the phase 1, 2, 3 trials and vaccine available is something just remarkable. It's fantastic. So this unprecedented situation has given opportunities. It compelled us to work together, to work for indigenization, and many things are happening now. We are interacting with industry in very extensive way, and we are joining hands in a more proactive way with the RICH, which most of you are aware of, which is bringing very, I will say, exceptional opportunity, exceptional networking for the big things to happen. And the things where we are involved in ensuring the quality, so help large-scale production and help in quality maintenance so that the material that is made, I'm talking about healthcare and diagnostics items, which are mostly, even water, you will be surprised, is imported for many of these tests. I mean, this is ridiculous. We can make this, but now is the requirement and there's a compulsion, and then industry has responded. In few months' time, we have started an activity with Gates Foundation and RICH and CCMB. In few weeks' time, actually, we are going to announce that every single component of kit that is used for most of the diagnostic will be made indigenously, and we'll be very happy to know it will be made in Hyderabad. So, and I can't speak many details, but the mRNA vaccine that is produced by Pfizer, the essential components of this vaccine is supplied, exported from Hyderabad. I was so surprised that we are sitting here, but now we are aware of these things and we will put into use, and there is a requirement, there is a acceptance, and now there is enthusiasm from the industry side. So I think we are heading towards a accelerated growth, which will be providing innovative solutions and substitute unnecessary exploitation that happens because we have to import things. So if you import, then you are going to get only what a country or a company is going to give you. But if you make yourself, then you can design it and make according to your need, according to your requirement, and you will not be forced. So I think we have realized that if we can send an object all the way up to Mars, then what I'm talking is actually trivial. So that's why I was very happy when I was contacted by CII to come and interact with you all. I think it's an exceptionally exceptional opportunity for us to give new impetus, give new scope to biotechnology, to healthcare system, equipments, diagnostics, surveillance methods, which will not only help our society. As you see from the example of vaccine, it will help the rest of the world, because we are the intellectual power, the exceptional talent in our students that we can provide solution to nobody else can provide. And I look forward to working all of you, and it will be a pleasure to interact like this and pick up certain things and take them forward, and look forward to that. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mishra, for a very enlightening message, and also for for telling us the good things that are happening in Hyderabad, which gives us further pride in what goes on in our city. With that, may I request the Honorable Minister, Mr. K.T. Ramarao Garu, for his inaugural address.
Thank you, Krishna. Thank you very much. I know your presidentship is only lasting for another couple of hours, so congratulations on a wonderful tenure. Congratulations on a job well done. Under your leadership, I think one of the most tumultuous years that we've witnessed in human history. You had to, continues to remain the vaccine capital of the world, continues to remain a very, very strong center for bulk drugs, pharmaceuticals, and the overall life sciences ecosystem. And thank you also for enlightening us on all the new developments, especially, on the mRNA front, the RNA front that you just spoke about. Thank you. Thank you for reinforcing our belief system, and also for continuing to support the government as well. Shubhajit, Mr. Samir, and Mr. Rambabu, and to all the dignitaries of the dais as well. Firstly, I'd like to thank Krishna and the entire team of CII for inviting me here, because I think every year when CII conducts multiple such events, it gives us a platform to talk to you, to understand from you, to learn from you, and also to kind of upgrade ourselves every so year. Because I'm a firm believer in the theory. In fact, whenever I meet BVR Mohan Reddy Garu, he always talks about skilling, the one thing that he refuses to ever let go of. I'm a firm believer in one thing, sir. I think it applies to politicians, it applies to institutions, it applies to governments, it applies to students, everybody. Skill, upskill, reskill, I think, that's something that we can't do without. So every time I come here, I always learn something, I always pick up something, I always kind of try and, imbibe some of the positives and also some of the, drawbacks or limitations that get pointed out. In the last 6.5 years of Telangana's existence as a new state, I would say, of course, I have the fiduciary responsibility of only saying the good things. So therefore, I will blow my own trumpet and say we've done exceptionally well. In fact, when we started our journey about 6.5 years ago, I keep saying this, there were a lot of doubts on industrialization, the potential of Hyderabad, how the new government could do well, in the sense of ensuring that the momentum is continued. But within no time, within a very, very short span, in fact, today Telangana, wherever you go in the country, whoever you speak to, whichever industry house you speak to, without a question, remains one of the industry magnets, if investment magnets, if you ask me, in the entire country. Among the top 3 or 4 states that continue to attract investment, both domestic and foreign direct investment, we continue to rank right up there. We also continue to rank right up there in the top 3 on the ease of doing business rankings every year. And we continue to also reform ourselves, we continue to also push the envelope when it comes to bringing about policy changes that are dictated and that are kind of dictated by the market and guided by industry bodies such as CII. We've been growing the state economy at an annual average rate of 9%, and we've also achieved double-digit growth in the last 2 consecutive years before COVID. We wanted to obviously grow much faster, but as you know, COVID, not just COVID, but even before COVID, if you think about it, the overall situation, the overall economic situation in the country also wasn't very conducive. In fact, much before lockdown happened, let us remind ourselves, there was 8 consecutive quarters of slowdown, economic slowdown. The GDP, I think, was at 8% or something. It started slipping, and eventually it came down to about 4+%. And then eventually it ended up in a lockdown, which resulted in a recession. And now we are seeing slow but steady signs of recovery. As I pointed out, there are some strong areas for the state. When it comes to the state's sectoral performance, and where we have done well in the last 7 years and also prior to that, I think life sciences, of course, continues to remain one of the most important sectors. Healthcare, information technology. Now, of late, aerospace, defense, logistics, textiles, food processing. These sectors, of course, continue to remain the mainstay. One of the sectors that I'm very pleased about, in fact, when Mr. Rambabu was speaking, I was saying to myself, they don't get as much credit as they should. The sector that really needs to be appreciated for their performance in the last 6-7 years particularly, and also several decades also, in the last couple of decades if you ask me. They are the second largest employer in the country today. After agriculture, the maximum number of people are employed by the construction industry. But unfortunately, they don't get their credit, as they're not really a focus industry as far as government sectors are concerned, as far as governments are concerned. But I must appreciate the way Hyderabad's construction industry, real estate industry has evolved over the last several years, and today they are able to compete with the rest of the country. Today they are able to, in fact, not just me, but institutions like JLL, CBRE, Cushman, all these property managers, they keep pointing out that Hyderabad's industry, construction industry, has been faring better than any other construction industry anywhere else in the country compared to any other metro city in India. So my compliments to the entire construction and real estate and developer fraternity as well. Information technology, as we all know, has been growing, and in fact, when in 2013 and 14, when the new state of Telangana came into being, the IT exports from the state were about 57,000 crore plus. And today I'm happy to report to you, this fiscal, in spite of COVID, we are expected to grow at about 7% last year, and NASSCOM reports and even STPI is tentatively putting it at 1,40,000 plus crores, which is more than double in the last 5.5 years. That goes to show you that the government and the private sector, government can only be an enabler. Government doesn't really have a direct role in information technology, but it continues to remain an enabler. It continues to remain focused on emerging technologies. It continues to remain focused on policies that enable further investment opportunities. Technologies like AI, data analytics, IoT, cybersecurity, robotics, blockchain, drones, all of these continue to remain a big focus for Telangana government. Of course, gaming, animation, VFX, and the homegrown Tollywood industry here also, in fact, have been doing exceptionally well, and also the OTT platforms, that have come up also have been doing very, very well, and a lot of content also is coming up from Hyderabad. On the digital front, in fact, we've said this in the past and we continue to maintain this, both infrastructure, literacy, digital literacy, continue to remain a priority for us, and the state government, in fact, is forging ahead with its T-Fiber project and also promoting digital literacy in our state. We also have continued to push information technology as a priority for not just Hyderabad, but also for Tier 2 towns. So Karimnagar, Warangal, Khammam, Mehboob-Nagar, Nizamabad, and very soon Nalgonda, Ramgundam, Siddipet, all of these locations, in fact. Today I'm happy again to share with you that a city like Warangal, which is the second largest in Telangana, has received a great deal of support from the industry. Cyient, a very prominent business house from Hyderabad, from Telangana, has agreed to our request, has opened a large development center in Warangal. My compliments to Mohan Reddy Garu and Krishna for that. So did Tech Mahindra, and so did Mindtree Consulting, which is an arm of L&T Group. All of them have set shop in Warangal. Now, these are the big houses, and then there are the smaller startups, and then there are the smaller, services companies, which also have taken space from the government, which also have done exceptionally well in the last, few years. So I'm very excited about the possibility of pushing more and more, services which can be done elsewhere outside of Hyderabad to those Tier 2 towns, so that we continue to provide employment for our local kids and local students in these Tier 2 towns also. Now, skilling, as I pointed out, continues to remain a priority. While Telangana Academy for Skill and Knowledge has been doing well, I think we could do a lot better, because now with the focus on sectoral skilling, for instance, in life sciences, we continue to say that we are right up there with respect to vaccine manufacturing, with respect to pharmaceuticals. We still have the potential to create great deal of employment for our children. So therefore, skilling is an area which I'm very, very keen on to partner with industry bodies like CII to further the cause. On the innovation front, Telangana government has been known for its agenda to push Hyderabad as the one of the important innovation hubs in the country, if not the innovation capital in the country. Our T-Hub, T-Works, V-Hub continue to focus and continue to engage with the youngsters from across the country, and we continue to take pride in the kind of products and the kind of companies they have been able to produce and they have been able to create. In fact, recently 5 Hyderabad companies and their founders have made it to Forbes 30 Under 30 Asia for the year 2020, which is a matter of great delight for all of us. We also have been pushing, with increased agricultural production in the state of Telangana, with the focus of Honorable Chief Minister, 24 hours of free power to agriculture sector, increased go-down capacity, improved yields, and with irrigation being a high priority for the government, we've been able to create more than 1 lakh crore worth of agricultural products from our state. I'm very, very proud of this. But What this leads to is, of course, a potential opportunity to invest in agro-processing, in food processing, and allied sectors. Our Honorable Chief Minister, in fact, has a great vision when it comes to food processing sector. He's, in fact, been promoting the cause of farmers, where they will be able to get a fair market price, and also the industry can benefit from the agriculture surplus from our state by way of creating food processing, special food processing zones. Now, this is something I'm very upbeat about, and my department has been working together with the Agriculture and Horticulture Department in taking this cause forward. In addition to IT, life sciences, aerospace and defense industry also continues to grow in the state of Telangana. I'm proud that we have several marquee names working out of Telangana, and not just the large companies. In fact, we're equally proud about the SMEs in the aerospace and defense industry, who continue to be the suppliers, who continue to again, make us proud by supplying to, submarines in France, by supplying to the satellites that are sent by ISRO and other space agencies, and we continue to again grow in this area as well. But the one grievance, in fact, I do have, I was speaking to Krishna about it a while ago. Telangana has been, in fact, as I pointed out, a very progressive state, a state which has continued to encourage business, a state which has continued to focus only on getting the job done. Unfortunately, the kind of support that we have anticipated, the kind of support we have expected from Government of India in the last 6.5 years has not come about. Now, I'm going to be a bit blunt and I will speak my mind, and I think I'll have to use this platform also to appeal to Government of India to rethink on priorities, because we hear great slogans. We hear slogans like Atmanirbhar Bharat, Self-Reliant India, Make in India, Skill India, Digital India. All these are great slogans. Without a question, the motive is very noble. But unless we work together, Honorable Prime Minister keeps saying Team India, but unless that sentence or unless that intention translates into real action, things will not happen. We say Make in India, but unfortunately we still are not really making in India. We are merely a country which assembles. We don't really manufacture much here. Let me just remind Government of India, particularly Piyush Goyal ji, Nirmala Sitharaman ji, and Honorable Prime Minister, as to what promises they had made to the state of Telangana and to the state of Andhra Pradesh at the time of bifurcation of the erstwhile United Andhra Pradesh. We were promised, the industries in both states were promised special incentives to further, create employment opportunities for our youngsters in these two states. It has been 6.5 years. No special incentive has been given. No announcement has been made, even though it was embedded in the AP Reorganization Act. An act is statute. It's a law. And if Government of India does not honor its own promise made in the Parliament, who will? I think that's a question that needs to be answered, that needs to be addressed by Government of India. They've also promised, the previous Union Government, UPA, had announced information technology investment regions in the country. One in Hyderabad, one more in Bangalore, I think one more in Vizag, another one in Odisha. 6.5 years, no decision gets made. No discussion on whether or not they will move forward with ITIR. And eventually, the Honorable IT Minister comes for an election campaign here and then goes on to announce that it has been scrapped. In spite of our numerous requests, in spite of detailed project reports being submitted, in spite of the well-intentioned, well-meaning efforts from the state government, unfortunately, we have not received support. Had ITIR been grounded today, Hyderabad has been growing. Of course, we've been growing with the support of the local industry. But had ITIR been grounded and had central government invested more in creating infrastructure in our state, I think we would have created a couple more lakhs of employment at least. And we would have grown at a much more, aggressive pace. The central government also promised, as part of the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act, a steel factory, an integrated steel plant at Bayaram in Warangal district, erstwhile Warangal district of Telangana. Unfortunately, Not an inch has moved, in spite of multiple requests from our side. The central government also had promised a rail coach factory in Warangal again. Again, in spite of state government submitting all the details, giving out more than the land that was required. 60 acres of land was asked for. We gave 150 acres of land. But unfortunately, again, they have decided not to take it up. I can go on and on. There are multiple such things where they've industrial corridors. We've been asking, nothing comes our way. High-speed rails, Hyderabad does not find its place. Bullet rail, unfortunately, it only goes through Gujarat. Starts in Delhi, goes to Bombay via Gujarat. South of India, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad. Unfortunately, we don't seem to figure in the scheme of things. I can go on and on. We have requested for more electronics manufacturing clusters. The 2 manufacturing clusters that were sanctioned by UPA about 7-8 years ago are now to the brim. We want more electronic manufacturing clusters. You know, make in India बोलने से कुछ नहीं होता है. जगह भी बनाना पड़ता है, but they don't sanction. I can go on and on. In fact, some things are so silly. See, India talks of competing with China and the large manufacturing countries in the world. How do you compete with China? Unless you achieve economies of scale, unless you think on scale, you cannot compete with a large manufacturing country like China. Classic example is, in the recently concluded BioAsia, I met with a medical devices manufacturer. So I was talking to this gentleman and I was asking him as to where he manufactures most of his products. He said, sir, I don't manufacture anything in India. I merely import them from China. I put my label, I sell them in the market. I said, why would you do that? He said, sir, it costs me more to manufacture here than to import. Simple as that. Our import duties are ridiculous. It's a simple example. But the fact is, why are our import duties, why are our manufacturing expenses more in comparison to imports from China or another country, another large manufacturing country? That is because we don't think on scale. When we reached out to Government of India and when we told them that we would like to set up a large pharma park, largest pharma park in the world, in 19,000 acres, and when we requested their support, they're completely blindsided. They do not want to really take up a proposal seriously. I mean, they make all these nice statements. Self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, अच्छा slogan है. But उसके लिए एक भूमिका भी बनानी पड़ती है. उसके लिए कोई काम भी करना पड़ता है. It won't just happen by sloganeering. Make in India बोलने से नहीं बनता है. My appeal to Government of India is, please think on scale. Support governments which have acquired land. Telangana state has already acquired more than 12,000 acres of land for pharma park. Why will you not support us? Are we not part of India? यहाँ बनाने से make in Telangana, make in India नहीं होता है क्या? Just because you have a government which is not really in sync with you politically, that should not be the thinking. My request to Government of India is, in the interest of the nation, in the interest of the country, let economics supersede politics. Let us not take mere political considerations into sanctioning strategic projects. Hyderabad has a very, very strong defense and aerospace ecosystem. So I went and met the Honorable Defense Minister about 2 years ago. I requested her. I said, Madam, we have several large institutions in Hyderabad, DRDL, DRDO, RCI, and several others, defense establishments. There is a strong business ecosystem, strong, SME ecosystem. If a defense industrial production corridor is created between Hyderabad and Bangalore, it will really help the nation. But you know where it goes to? It is sanctioned to Bundelkhand, where there is no defense company. Because they have 80 parliament seats there, and Telangana and Karnataka and Andhra have, I think, less than 80. Now, these sort of posturings, these sort of decisions, which are driven by political compulsions, will not help our cause, will not help our country. A large pharma park is being created in Hyderabad. Support it. A large textile park is created, largest textile park in the country is created in Warangal. The state government has already done its bit. Support it. My request to Government of India is, instead of confining yourselves to lip service, I think put your money onto the promise of making India truly great, making India truly a country to reckon with in the larger scheme of things. I can go on and on, but I will only say one thing and I'll close. We have made great deal of efforts to reach out, to request, to work with them, to ensure that our state continues to grow, our businesses continue to grow. And I do hope that they will come forward. I do hope they will come and start looking at the various aspects, encourage a growing state, encourage a progressive state, and work with us. Even if that does not happen, I have no qualms. We've been doing well for the last 6.5 years with all of your support. We will continue to grow under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister. But if it does happen, and if Government of India also supports our initiatives, classic example, when Rakesh ji was speaking, I was thinking, Hyderabad is the vaccine capital of the world. We manufacture 35% of global vaccines in Hyderabad out of Genome Valley. But you know where the vaccine testing laboratory is? We have to take our samples from here, travel 1,200 kilometers to Kasauli, and get our samples, tested there. What is the logic? What is the rationale? Can't we sanction a lab here? And does the state government have to plead with you, beg with you, to get a lab sanctioned? Even in the middle of a pandemic? I don't understand this logic. So this sort of situation is something that we can very well do away with, especially when there are no elections around. I mean, अगली election तो 3 साल दूर है. अभी से क्या जल्दी है? तू मैं बहुत किया जा सकता है 3 साल बाद. तो मैं दरख्वास्त करता हूँ, विनती करता हूँ केंद्र सरकार में जितने भी बड़े-बड़े हस्ती हैं कि आप इंडिया के हित में, आप देश के हित में आप सोचिए. और हैदराबाद और तेलंगाना एक ऐसी जगह है जहाँ से अच्छे इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट, अच्छे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स, बहुत सारे लोग उभर के आए हैं और बहुत सारा अच्छा काम यहाँ पे हो रहा है. थोड़ी सी अगर आपकी मदद मिल जाती है तो और भी हम तरक्की करेंगे, ये वादा आपसे करते हैं. और आखिरी में मैं यही कहना चाहता हूँ केंद्र सरकार से कि आप देश के हित में, टीम इंडिया के हित में आप जो बात करते हैं उस पर आप उतर आए, उस पर और मेक श्योर दैट you deliver on that promise and help the state, progressive state like Telangana, continue to grow with the support of the industry. Once again, thank you very much, Krishna and the team, for this opportunity.
Now we'll have the awards ceremony lined up. And I would request my colleague Satya Aruna to kindly announce the Harita Haram Awards and recognition to the winners. Over to you.
May I request Mr. Anil Ipur, sir, to kindly come on to the dais, please. And Vanita Datla, ma'am, also, please.
Shri K.D. Ramarao Garu, dignitaries on the dais, and friends. Telangana Ku Harita Haram is indeed one of the excellent initiatives of our respected Chief Minister and of the Government of Telangana, which envisages to increase the present 24% tree cover to 33% of the total geographical area of the state. CIA had the honor of partnering with the government in this green initiative and have collectively planted over 6 million saplings in the state over the past 5 years. I think this is the one single organization that has done the maximum green planting in the state of Telangana over every year. And this year, with the support of the stakeholders, CI has planted over 2 million saplings from the August to December 2020, even in these difficult times, and has a survival rate of about 85%. It's not just planting and forgetting, but looking after them to have a survival. So we would like to hand over the copy of the CIA Harita Haram journey till 2020, which captures the journey over the past 5 years, monitoring of the success rate, and feedback from members. Today we will be presenting mementos to 17 organizations who have actively taken part in the initiative in the year 2020. There are two categories. The category one is those companies that have planted over 10,000 saplings. The category two is plantations below 10,000 saplings. We heartily thank each and every one who are part of this inspiring green journey, and we as a team look forward to continue to work closely with the Government of Telangana in building a greener and healthier Bangaru Telangana. As a son of the soil, I really appreciate the state of Telangana for its commitment to increasing our green cover, and I look forward to the support of all of you. Thank you.
May I request all the Haritaharam Award recipients to come on to the dais from your left side, receive the award and leave from your right side, please. Request you all to be there on the left side of the stage, please. So we would start announcing the awards now. The first organization who would be receiving the award is Office of NSS JNTUH. May I request Director Professor Govardhan and his team to kindly come and receive the award, please. I would request all the audience to kindly applaud the team for their contribution for Haritaharam. The next organization, ITC PSPD, to be ready, please. The next organization to receive the award is ITC Limited Paperboards and Specialty Papers Division. May I request Mr. Sanjay Singh and his team to kindly come and receive the award, please. I would request Pragati Resorts team to be ready, please. The next organization is to receive the award is Pragati Green Meadows and Resorts Limited. I would request Dr. GBK Rao and his team to kindly come and receive the award, please. The next organization, Kanha Shantivanam, to be ready, please. May I request Mr. Vamshi and his team from Sahaj Marg Spirituality Foundation, Kanha Shantivanam, to kindly come and receive the award, please. I would request the Sign Team Limited to be ready, please. I would request Mr. Krishna Devi and team from Science Limited to kindly come and receive the award, please. I would request Alpla India team to be ready, please. May I request Alpla India team to be ready, please. May I request Ms. Sobha Dikshit and her team from Alpla India Private Limited to kindly come and receive the award, please. Delhi Public School Nacharam team to be ready, please. May I request the team from Delhi Public School Nacharam to kindly come and receive the award, please. Parthi Zoroastrian Anjuman team to be ready, please. May I request Mr. Omin Debara from Parsi Zoroastrian Anjuman of Secunderabad and Hyderabad to kindly come and receive the award, please. Geetam University team to be ready, please. May I request DVVSR Verma and his team from Geetam University to kindly come and receive the award, please. I would request GDMS Obul Reddy School to be ready, please. May I request Ms. Lata Shankar and her team from DDMS P. Obul Reddy Public School, Jubilee Hills to kindly come and receive the award, please. I would request Delhi Public School Nadargul team to be ready, please. May I request teams from Delhi Public School Nadargul to kindly come and receive the award, please. I would request Pallavi Group of Schools team to be ready, please. May I request Mr. Yashashvi and his team to kindly come and receive the award, please. May I request HSBC team to be ready, please. May I request Mr. Prasad Tekumalla from HSBC Electronic Data Processing India Private Limited to kindly come and receive the award, please. May I request Vedri Township team to be ready, please. May I request Mr. Vignesh and his team from Vedri Township to kindly come and receive the award, please. I would request DAV Public School Safilguda team to be ready, please. May I request Ms. Viniti Arora and the principal of DAV Public School Safilguda to kindly come and receive the award, please. May I request Kendri Vidyalaya team to be ready, please. May I request Mr. Chandramouli and team from Kendri Vidyalaya, Bowenpalli, Secunderabad to kindly come and receive the award, please. I would request Jain Heritage team to be ready, please. I would request Mr. Chandramouli and his team from Kendri Vidyalaya, Bowenpalli, Secunderabad to kindly come and receive the award, please. I would request Mr. Chandrasekhar and Mona Mehdi of Jain Heritage, a Cambridge School, Kondapur to kindly come and receive the award, please. I would request all the participants to kindly applaud all the organizations who have contributed for Haritaharam 2020 during this pandemic period, please. Thank you. Good morning to you all.
CII Telangana has launched Inspiring People Practices Awards to honor the organizations which have excelled in people practices and are a source of inspiration. We are happy to announce the winners for the 5 categories. Winner for Learning and Development category is Tata Consultancy Services. We request Mr. Rajanna Garu and his team to come onto the dais and collect the award, please. Next award winner is Signode India. We request Signode team to be ready, please. Winner for Employee Experience Management category is Signode India Limited. We request Mr. Ajit Jain and his team to come onto the dais and collect the award. Next winner for the Internal Communication is Coromandel International. We request Mr. Prasannath Rao and his team to come. We request Mr. Prasannath Rao and team to join. Thank you. Next winner is Scient Limited for CSR and Wellbeing category. We request Scient team to come onto the dais and collect the award. Thank you. Next winner for congratulations Scient team. Next winner is Employee Relations category. We request ITC Limited PSPD Division HR team to come on to the dais and collect the award, please. Next award, the Special Jury Award for Employee Experience Management goes to Alpla India Private Limited. We request Alpla India Private Limited team to come on to the dais and collect the award, please. Thank you. We request all the audience to give a big round of applause to all the winners of Inspiring People Practices Award. Thank you so much. Yeah. So during lockdown period, CII has done a lot of CSR work, and with the support of our member companies, extended all possible support to the affected people during the COVID times. So we are honoring all those corporates through a small memento today. So now I request Akshay Patra team to come near to the dais and collect the memento, please. Akshay Patra team. Next memento goes to Alpla India. Alpla India. You can give it to Alpla India, please. They are here. So during the COVID times, we have donated dry rations to many affected people in the Pashamailaram region with the support of Alpla India. Thank you so much, sir, for collaborating with CII. Next memento is to Akshay Patra team. Thank you so much, Rajni, for collaborating with CII. We have given almost 5,000 dry ration meals with the support of Akshay Patra. Next memento goes to Apidi Technologies. We request Mr. AVS Reddy Garu to come on to the dais and collect the memento. Next moment, thank you so much, sir, for donating sanitizers to Education Department upon CI's request. Next memento goes to BVR IT Narsapur. The college collaborated with CII for the CSR work of training the government teachers on digital skills during this year. They hosted the program and their students and teachers joined as volunteers. Thank you so much, sir. Next memento goes to Connect Hyderabad team. We request Coromandel International team to be ready, please. We request the Connect team to come onto the dais and collect the memento, please. With the support of Connect, we are establishing 2 computer labs in government schools this year. They will be inaugurated in another 10 days' time, 10 to 15 days' time. Thank you so much. Next memento goes to Coromandel International Limited. With the support of Coromandel, we have donated dry rations in the GD Metla industrial region. Yeah. We request Science Foundation team to be ready, please. Next memento goes to Science Foundation. Next memento goes to GD Metla Industrial Association. We thank Adinarayan Rao Garu and his team for collaborating with CII. Thank you, sir. Next memento goes to IKEA Hyderabad. With the support of IKEA Hyderabad, we have donated more than 20 lakhs worth of materials in the urban shelter homes and in the orphanages. Thank you so much, Swapna and team, for collaborating with CII. Next memento goes to ITC PSPD division. Mr. Chengal Rao Garu and team, to be ready, please. Sir. We request Kakatiya Sandbox from Nizamabad. We request Kakatiya Sandbox team to be ready, please. Next is what? We request ITC PSPD team to collect the memento from Honorable Minister Garu. ITC PSPD team collaborated with CII and we have donated sanitizers and dry rations in both Bhadrachalam and Hyderabad region. In major all government hospitals, we have donated Savlon sanitizers. Next memento goes to Kakatiya Sandbox team. We thank Kakatiya Sandbox team for collaborating with CII in imparting the teachers training program in the government teachers training program in Nizamabad district. And also they were very helpful in preparing Nizamabad district development plan prepared by CII Telangana. Next award goes to Kids Warangal team. I request NATCO Trust team to be ready, please. 5. Next. Kids Warangal team. Kids Warangal hosted 2 sessions where we trained about 600 government teachers in digital skills. We thank Kids Warangal team for collaborating with CII. We thank Rajanna Garu also of TCS for facilitating this support. Next team is, we request NATCO Trust team to come onto the dais and collect the memento, please. With NATCO Trust, we have arranged more than 12,000 meals in Borabanda region. Every day their team was there and they were very helpful. And also dry rations were distributed in Borabanda region. We request Signode India team to be ready, please. Signode India team. So we request TCS Hyderabad team to come on to the dais and collect the memento, please. For the teachers training program, Rajanna Garu and his team was very helpful in designing the digital skills training program, where CIA has trained about 1180 teachers so far. We are aiming at training 5,000 teachers very soon. Okay. We request the Tech Mahindra Foundation team to be ready, please. Tech Mahindra Foundation team. We request Young Indians team also to be ready, please. Young Indians. Young Indians. We request Tech Mahindra. Okay. We request Tech Mahindra team, please make it quickly. Oh, sorry, please come. We thank Sudhir Babu Garu and his team from Tech Mahindra Foundation for collaborating with CIA in giving about 600 dry ration packs to leprosy patients across Telangana. Yeah. With this, we conclude the CSR appreciation mementos to all the member companies who have collaborated with CIA. Thank you so much. A big round of applause to the winners, please. Thank you.
Last two awards, IP awards. No, that's what. Hold on. Thank you, sir. The last two awards. There was an announcement by the Government of India last year on the National IP Literacy Week held from 15 to 23rd October, and Telangana state was one of the first states to conduct this IP essay for 3 more topics on women in IP, role of IP in Atmanirbhar Bharat, and innovation at home and workplace with artificial intelligence and future of IP. So we had 3 prominent winners who have actually fared well in the essay writing competition. The first prize winner was Sunetra Sudhakar of Darebal, essay on topic of role of IP for an Atmanirbhar Bharat. But unfortunately, she is not here, so I would request the second prize winner, Aswati R, to please come on the stage to collect her trophy on artificial intelligence and future of IP, which she has written. Is she on the stage? Miss Aswati, can you please come on the stage? There is the moment. She got the second prize in the IP essay writing competition on artificial intelligence and future of IP. Thank you so much and congratulations. The third prize goes to Ms. Suguna Kumari on topic of women in IP. I request Ms. Suguna Kumari to kindly come on the stage and collect her prize from the Honorable Minister, sir. We thank NATCO Pharma and Government of Telangana for supporting this initiative, and now would request Honorable will now request Honorable Minister, sir, to launch the first of its kind state-specific Telangana State Intellectual Property Rights Awards, which will be given on World IP Day on April 26, 2021. Telangana will be the first state, sir, to go on this and felicitate various categories of industry. So we have just launched the flyer. And would request So I would request and encourage the industry to kindly participate in the awards category. And now to present the pride of Telangana to another pride of Telangana, which is the silver filigree of Karimnagar made by our artist Satvik from Silver. I would request Krishna and the junior artist an intricate work of silver filigree from Karimnagar to hand over to the Honorable Minister, and Krishna kindly do the honor. It was one of the first GIs of Telangana, the pride of Telangana given to a pride of Telangana. So with thank you, sir. With this, we come to the close of the awards, and I would now request Samir sir to conclude the session. Thank you. Yeah, I would request to kindly, the audience to settle down so that we can conclude the session. Request Samir sir to kindly conclude. Yes.
Okay, firstly, congratulations to all the prize winners. Let me start by saying that this has been a truly remarkable year for CII. Despite the Black Swan event, I'm taking the words from Mr. Mohan Reddy, and we hope that this will continue to grow further over the years to come. We have been able to adopt technology and work with the young, efficient government in many initiatives for reviving the industry, and there's a new normal, and Telangana has very good opportunities to say. Just 1 minute. Firstly, a special thanks to Honorable Minister, Mr. KTR Ramarao Garu, for having accepted our invitation and inaugurating this program. Sir, your speech was really inspirational and gave us a lot of opportunities what we can do in Telangana. For a young state, you have said that we lead in innovation. You talked about skill and upskill and reskill, especially in the COVID scenario. I mean, the new government scorecard has been very impressive in the last 6 years. Investment in both domestic and international, ease of doing business, policy changes, the state average growth rate at 9% and also double. And also leading in life sciences, healthcare, aerospace, defense and logistics. And also you touched upon infrastructure, being the second largest employee. As a person in agriculture, I can just say, sir, thanks to also the leadership of KCR Garu, the Honorable Chief Minister, agriculture has grown by 2.5% since the state was initiated. It has become the rice bowl of India. And in this COVID situation, Telangana did very well to feed the migrant population and also the nation. And we are really grateful to the work which has been done, to the proactive policies which the government has done, sir. And we really thank you for your leadership under the Honorable Chief Minister for really taking these initiatives. And the entire industry will continue to support. And on your request, I do hope, and being in Hyderabad and Telangana, that the government will look at economic and not politics in really developing all the industries and the economic growth for India. So thank you very much, sir. Really appreciate your time and efforts. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I would also like to thank Rajesh Mishra, sir, for delivering his special address. Definitely the new technology application on healthcare and especially helping being the leader in, institution in this Black Swan event. He spoke about how testing has been developed internally with reasonable cost, and we also congratulate him and his students on playing a vital role in controlling virus and also all the future innovations which has come. And he did touch upon the fact that Pfizer, which is a single-shot vaccine, was developed here, and also the work done by Bharat Biotech in not only putting Hyderabad on the map, but also in the world maps. So thank you very much, sir, for your time. Really appreciate that. I thank Mr. Ram Babu for his special address. He did highlight, the role of the construction industry in institutionalizing to make it a better place to live in. He did touch upon the big collaboration between private, government, academia to come together and to make this a sustainable world for our children, and the role played by the construction industry in developing people from all sectors. So really appreciate that and the help given in making the government dream of Bangaru, Telangana. Last, I'd like to thank Mr. Krishna Garu for his welcome address and leading us from the front last year despite the whole COVID situation. I think how the IT sector grew by 9% and Cyient is the leading force there. He also thanked the government for the support to the industry, agriculture in this Black Swan event, and also urging all industry to take opportunity on Telangana becoming the investment opportunity. And CIA will continue to support Telangana to achieve the dreams of the government. I'll especially thank all the experts from industry and academia who had delivered their sessions during the program. I'll also now like to extend my thanks to our partners, the premium sponsors, Pranav Group, principal sponsors, AC, Fibernet, co-sponsors, Alpha, Coromandel International and Result Electronics, associate sponsors, Cyient, Eleco, Indegene Food Private Limited, NATCO, corporate contributions from ITC, Kilby, Pulazana Group, Srinivas Farms, TCS, Vijay Diagnostics, and logo partner 24 Mantra, Organic, Aqua Laundry, Inch by Inch, the installers and Prism, and hygiene partners Cotton Hills, Saint Medicamation Private Limited. Lastly, I thank all the delegates from the industry, academia, government agencies, and representation from consulate and media present in this program, without which this conference would have not been possible. I'll also like to thank all the extreme dignitaries on the dais, faculty members, past chairmen, and delegates who have joined us for this event. I do wish, like you can see, the program has been a grand success. Congratulations to Subhajit and his secretarial team. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Samir Goyalji. May I request all the participants to sit and settle down, please? We are starting the next session immediately.